Heading into the 2025 NFL season, the Philadelphia Eagles are flying high with one clear goal in mind, going back-to-back as Super Bowl champions, and let me tell you, the buzz around this Eagles defense is getting louder by the day. Vic Fangio steps into this season with the keys to a defense that's not just talented, but full of upside. Despite losing over 4,000 snaps from last year's uni due to free agency, retirements, trades, and non-renewals, this group is still turning heads. Think back to how special 2024 was for the Eagles. It wasn't just a good season, it was iconic. Saquon Barkley looked like a man possessed, doing damage on the ground week in and week out. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith reminded everyone that they're among the best wide receiver duos in football. That offensive line, still the best in the league, bar none, and Jalen Hurts, he was electric. Played like a superstar in the NFC Championship and then lit it up in the Super Bowl, where he earned that MVP trophy and led the Eagles to their second Lombardi since 2017. It was a complete team effort, and the league took notice not just because of the talent, but because of how the Eagles run things from the front office to coaching the player development. It's a model of consistency and innovation. Especially impressive was the way the defense turned it around mid-season. Early on, they were shaky, but after the bye in Week 5, something clicked. Kobe Dean stepped in as a starter, and the whole unit elevated. By the time the playoffs rolled around, they weren't just good, they were dominant. The Eagles, flustered and flat-out, dismantled Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in the Super Bowl. That's no small feat. So here we are, entering 2025, and yes, the defense looks a bit different on paper. They've lost leaders like Darius Slay and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. That stings. But what's crucial is that, unlike the offense, which lost defensive coordinator Kellen Moore and now has to adjust with Kevin Patullo, the defensive side kept all its key coaches. Fangio is back. That kind of continuity is rare and incredibly valuable in the NFL. It means the players get more comfortable in the system, the execution improves, and you get to build on what you've already created rather than starting from scratch. And that's a big reason why guys like All-Pro linebacker Zach Bond are so confident. This dude was a monster last year, first-team All-Pro, a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, and he's out here saying that this Eagles defense, despite losing some big names, is already miles ahead of where they were at this point last year. That says a lot about the culture and the depth that's been built. The truth is, on both sides of the ball, this team is loaded. If the Eagles can stay healthy, they're not just in the mix for another Super Bowl, they might be staring down the start of a dynasty. Of course, there are still some questions to answer. Who lines up next to Jalen Carter at defensive tackle? Will it be Jordan Davis, who's got all the physical tools in the world, but still has something to prove? Or maybe Moro Ojomo, who showed real flashes last season? And what about the outside cornerback spot opposite of Quinion Mitchell? Cooper DeJean looks like he'll stay in the slot, so does that open the door for Kelly Ringo? Or maybe veteran Adoree Jackson sneaks into that role? Then there's the safety position, where Reed Blankenship has one spot locked down, but who joins him? Could it be Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Andrew Mukuba, or Sidney Brown? These are real battles that will shape how the defense performs out of the gate. But here's the key difference between the offense and defense right now. The offense is basically returning 10 of 11 starters from a Super Bowl winning unit, which is incredible. The defense, on the other hand, has some new faces, but they're surrounded by experience and a system that's already proven to work. And let's talk about that defensive line. Pro Football Focus just dropped their list of the top 10 defensive lines heading into 2025. The Pittsburgh Steelers came in at number 1, but right behind them, the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, ahead of squads like the Giants, Texans, Bills, Lions, Browns, Broncos, Rams, and Ravens. That's elite company. And what makes it even crazier is that the Eagles lost Josh Sweat and Milton Williams in free agency, and they're still that high on the list. Last season, on non-blitz plays, the Eagles generated pressure on 36% of dropbacks. That was the 5th highest rate in the league. Jalen Carter posted an 84 for pass rush grade, ranking 4th among interior defenders. Moro Ojomo wasn't far behind at 82.4. That kind of production is rare, and it's why this group is still viewed as one of the best in the game. And they didn't just stand pat, they brought in more help. Nolan Smith is ready to take the next step. Jalen Hunt is entering his second year and looks like a breakout candidate. They added pass rushers like Azeez Ojulari and Josh Uch. They drafted Antoine Powell. You lose talent like Sweat and Williams, but you replace it with youth and hunger. And maybe the most intriguing part, this might be the youngest starting defensive line in the entire NFL. Jordan Davis is just 25 years old. Jalen Carter, 24. Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt also 24. Oyomo is 23. Rookie Ty Robinson comes in at 24. These guys are just getting started, and that's why the future looks so bright. If they can stay healthy and continue to develop under Fangio, the Eagles might not just be good this year, they could be scary good for years to come. And that front seven is backed up by a linebacking corps that was ranked number 1 in the NFL by Pro Football Focus. That's right, number 1, ahead of teams like the Lions, Patriots, Chiefs, and Commanders. Zach Bond got a well-earned extension. After leading all linebackers with a PFF grade of 90.2, Nakobe Dean wasn't far behind, coming in at 11th with a grade of 77.4. Even with Dean battling a postseason injury, the Eagles went out and got Jihad Campbell, the best linebacker in the 2025 draft class. Add in young talent like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Smail Mondon, and you've got depth, speed, and intelligence at all levels of the second line. It's clear the front office has shifted its philosophy. For years, the Eagles were known for skimping on linebackers, but not anymore. They've realized that as offenses get faster and more spread out, you need linebackers who can run, cover, and make plays in space, and now they've got a room full of those guys. The number 1 ranking might surprise some people, but if you've been watching how this team is built, it makes perfect sense. In the secondary, yes, there are still question marks. Losing veterans always hurts, but you've got Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, who were number 1 and number 2 among rookies in man coverage grade last year. That's not a coincidence. These guys are legit. They're not just part of the future, they're already holding it down in the present. And if the pass rush continues to be as dominant as it was last year, it's only going to make life easier for those young defensive backs. So maybe the offense takes a little time to adjust with Patullo calling the plays. Maybe it's not as explosive right away, but that's where the defense steps in. They can buy the team time. They can hold the line until the offense clicks into gear. And if both units start firing on all cylinders by mid-season, watch out. This Eagles team could be steamrolling toward another deep playoff run. Pro Football Focus had this Eagles defense ranked number 1 overall in 2024. Where will they finish in 2025? That's the question. 1 to 32, where do you put them? Let's hear it. What we're watching in Philadelphia right now isn't just a talented defense getting ready for another season, it's a movement. It's a cultural shift that's been years in the making. And now that it's fully underway, the entire league is starting to take notice. Vic Fangio's presence can't be overstated. He brings an aura of calm control, a deep understanding of scheme, and an ability to teach that turns raw athleticism into football IQ. The results are already showing. Guys are reading plays quicker, reacting faster, and trusting each other in ways they didn't last year. That trust is what separates a good defense from a great one. And this Eagles unit is building that bond every day on the practice field. What's different now is how deep the Eagles can go on any given play. They're not relying on 1 or 2 stars to carry the load. They've built a system where the second unit can rotate in without missing a beat. That kind of depth doesn't happen overnight. It's been years of smart drafting, savvy trades, and a willingness to let young players grow through reps. Players like Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith aren't just future stars, they're already holding it down like seasoned pros, and when you stack that kind of talent across the board, it becomes a nightmare for opposing offenses. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles, and don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Philadelphia may be on the brink of a defensive revolution. Whispers coming out of the NovaCare complex suggest that the Eagles could be making serious waves, with potential additions of the high-profile cornerbacks Greg Newsome and Asante Samuel Jr. Though nothing has been officially confirmed by the organization, the buzz is growing louder by the day, and fans are starting to believe that a new era for the Eagles secondary might be just around the corner. The Eagles, long criticized for their defensive inconsistencies, especially in the backfield, might be looking to change that narrative in dramatic fashion. Sources close to the situation hint that Philadelphia has been in advanced talks with both Newsome and Samuel Jr. to young, athletic, and aggressive corners who could instantly elevate the team's defense to elite status. If these moves materialize, it would represent a stunning turnaround for a unit that struggled mightily in 2024, especially in clutch moments late in games. Greg Newsome, known for his sticky coverage and fluid hips, has developed into a premier outside corner and would provide the lockdown presence Philly has been missing. Pairing him with Santi Samuel Jr. ironically, the son of a former Eagles star, only adds to the storyline. Samuel Jr.'s instincts and versatility in man and zone coverage have earned him respect across the league, and his return to the city where his father once roamed the secondary would be a poetic twist. Nothing is official, of course, and the front office is staying tight-lipped. But league insiders have noted unusual activity in Philadelphia's camp, and social media sleuths have already spotted signs, cryptic posts, player follows, and even rumored sightings in the city that suggest something big is brewing. Could this be the defensive rebirth the Eagles have been waiting for? If these rumored acquisitions go through, don't be surprised if Philadelphia emerges as a top contender in the NFC once again. For now, it remains a tantalizing possibility, but one that has fans dreaming of shutouts and Super Bowls once more. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.